everybody does podcasts these days. And I didn't know what a midlife crisis was until it hit me that I was closer to being 30 than I am to being 20. Because I am very close to turning 26, and that is 4 years away from 30, and that's fine. It is. But then, I don't know. It's like, this is my red convertible. This is my 20 years younger girlfriend. Because I was just on Instagram seeing everyone else have podcasts. And I said, you know what? Me too. I don't know what this will be. But all I know is that sometimes you just have to give in and accept the fact that what you're doing, I don't want to say cringy. I think I want to say sad. I mean, look at my outfit. This shirt came in to the mail today. It's my Halloween outfit. Do you know who I am? Peter, do you know who I am? Yeah. The sad thing is, I already had the wig. I didn't have to buy the wig. I bought the shirt because I already had the wig. And I said, I have khakis. I could be Lois Griffin for Halloween. Why not? Why not? Growing up is... I mean, we all wanted to do it when we were younger, right? Grow up. Be older. It's like the little girl I always keep. I've known her since she was 5 months old. She's 9 now. And today, she showed me her playlist. And it had mostly all of the songs that I listen to in the car that she now likes to listen to, except for Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo. And I told her, I said, I don't listen to those two because they're younger than me. So I don't listen to people that are younger than me. And she kind of just looked at me because she didn't understand. And then, am I the old man that yells at a cloud? I work in a public library. And every time a teen comes in, like someone that's like 11 and up, I just like, oh, they're going to be trouble. Oh, they're going to cause trouble today. I've like hit the mindset of that older, like the older teacher who is just 3 years away from retirement. They're done. They've been there longer than you've been alive. And yet you have the audacity to give them attitude when you're the one being loud. I get it, I do. And I just hate. I don't know. I think I just realized that I'm getting older now. And like, I work in the children's library too. And a child's being loud, which is fine. They're allowed to play and frolic and be children. Why can't you respect the fact that inside has a certain volume you need to respect and just be a part of. I feel so old saying all this. See, when I decided to make a podcast, I said, okay, let me look at examples. So what did I watch? I watched Brittany Broski and Delta Work. I will say, though, those podcasts with the married couples, like the couples where he doesn't like his wife. Ew. I watch those just to send to my friends saying, what is going on? Disgusting. I understand that some of it is rage bait, and they purposely do that so people will watch it so they get more views, so they get more money and more attention. But I would just, you could not beat it out of me. Information that some of those people share. You could not get me to sit there and say something about my husband just for money. That's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. Especially the husbands who just like straight up just say things about their wives, what they don't like about their wives. Like, oh yeah, whenever you were giving birth, you did something that like, pissed me off. So I just gave you the silent treatment. Are you 5? You're the teenager in the library that's causing trouble. You're a grown man. You put a ring on that woman's finger and you're choosing to do that to her? No. But I will not be those kind of podcasts because I'm not married, for one thing. And because if I was, I would not do that because that's weird. And as you can tell, I have a great studio. I'm in my bedroom. I have my Garfield collection and my Eraserhead poster. If you have not seen Eraserhead, that's all I'll say. I mean, it's like one of those films that you watch as a film bro, and then you just go, oh wow, what does that mean? Even David Lynch, who made the film, was like, yeah, I don't know what this means. I think it means the fear of fatherhood and realizing that new responsibility. But I don't know. But we don't have to talk about that right now. Let's talk about growing up and doing things you never thought you would do. I have a turtle. That's why this podcast is called Turtle Mom, because I am a proud mother of a turtle, and I just now realized that I'm whispering. But I'm going to keep going, because I find it weirdly soothing. He's 20. Every year I take a picture for his birthday with candles of his year, and people love it on Facebook. It's like the only thing I post. So he's the love of my life. He really is. And I've had him for 10 years. And my cousin who gave him to me, along with his sister who has passed, may she rest in peace, had him for 10 years. So I just went ahead and said, oh, he's 10 when I got him. And he turned 20 on July 10th. And he is thriving. I would have him in here because I honestly thought about it. But he is watching TV right now. And I'm being, like, serious. He loves watching TV. Especially if it has, like, loud bass shaking. I think it's because the water moves in his cage. And he likes it. Someone came to the door, so I had to quickly cut it off because I had to yell, do not come in here, because I don't want anyone to know that I'm currently dressed as Lois Griffin. But back to my turtle. He is named Manly. His full name is actually Emmanuel, because I have a Bible degree, and I have to somehow incorporate that to some parts of my life. So, yeah, but he goes by Manly, and his sister's name was Beth. And the reason why they were named Beth and Manly is because I was obsessed with Little House on a Prairie. Little House on the Prairie? Little House of the Prairie? Little House on the Prairie. Little House on... It's Little House on the Prairie. I was obsessed with that show back in, like, 2014. And so when I found out I got a girl and a boy, I named them after Laura Ingalls and her husband. She called him Manly because he was manly, and he called her Beth because her middle name was Elizabeth. I think they were, like, really far apart in age, too. I'm just now recalling. Ew. But, that was 1800s. Things were different back then. But this is the now. And what we're talking about is growing up. It is scary. It is. Especially when you just graduate college. Or it could be high school if you choose not to, like, continue education. Which is, in my opinion, fine. But also, I hate how society's set up to where if you just finish high school, you literally have no chance of getting a good job unless you know the people. Anyway, but I graduated college earlier this year, and it is my second degree, and now I have to, like, choose. Like, do you know you have 30 minutes? You have 30 minutes? I feel like I only have like 5 seconds, and then everything's gonna crumble and shut down. The job I have right now required a bachelor's degree. Luckily, I had one. Not in library science. I have a degree in theater. My bachelor's is theater, at least. And what do you do with that? My motto is always do it as a hobby, not as a requirement. I always said that because back in school, people would, like, audition for the fall play or whatever, and like, oh, should I, like, take classes? Should I, like, you know, switch over to the theater program? No. Do it as a hobby. With an accounting degree. With your little engineering degree. With something that makes you money. Not requiring you to do it because you have to for your curriculum, and then you graduate and you go, oh wow, I have no options unless I choose to go to grad school, which I am looking at the moment, because my own mother said, why not have the safety net of further education and the ability to teach others theater? Why would I want to do that? It's like I think it was a tweet I saw it years ago, where the guy just graduated with a bachelor's degree in Egyptology, which, of all things, and he decides to get a master's in Egyptology because he realizes he can't get a job with his degree unless he has the higher education. I feel like most degrees are just there so you get the higher one. Like, what's the point? Especially some degrees make no sense to me. Like when I first started college, because I was in college for a long time, I switched around a lot. I graduated from 2, and I think I went to a total of 4. Yeah. And my beginning degree was, what was it? It was a psychology degree with an emphasis in women's studies. And I enjoyed the women's studies stuff. Like, I enjoyed, because we had to do, like, feminist literature class and stuff like that. And I thought that was fine because I was a woman, and it was just, for some reason, it was like, I enjoyed just writing on the discussion posts men are awful. And my teacher was like, yeah. But I don't know. It was just one of those things where I'm afraid I'm going to get like destroyed if people actually watch this. I have a piece of wig hair on my arm. Oh my gosh. It just felt pointless. I guess because it was too easy. Oh wow. It wasn't really challenging myself, I guess. Because I love writing. I do enjoy writing. I write all the time. And all I did for that degree was write, so. But I didn't like the psychology part because I don't really care that much about how the brain works and like emotions and stuff. It was just something I thought, oh, I could like find something of this. Which I know people that have a psychology degree, like bachelor's wise, they don't have a job in anything that's related to psychology. I feel like everything's just pointless. I feel like I have hit that point. This is, again, circling back to midlife crisis. It's like those moments where you just sit there and you're like in the middle of doing something. You go, oh wow, is this what I'm doing for the rest of my life? And then you just stare. And then you buy that red convertible to make yourself feel better. You buy that $54 microphone from Amazon to make yourself feel better. Do I feel better? I think I do. I think in the long run, this mic will pay off. Because with my theater degree, I want to become an actress, not an A-lister. Not even a B-lister. I want to be that one girl you see in the background of like commercials for like T-Mobile. And you go, she was in the Tostitos commercial. That's what I want. Honestly. I don't have to become anything. I love writing. I love writing scripts. I love writing screenplays. I love writing anything. And I like acting. I like being silly and funny. Improv was fun. I did a lot of improv in college. And I had professional headshots done like 2 months ago. And they were like, okay, so like, are you the funny character? Are you like the sassy girlfriend? What are you? And all my roles I've ever been in, I was like this very serious, stern, like I never have fun character. Only one time was I not, and that was a very small role. I'm like, man, I'm like the very serious type. And it's just like, I guess, I don't know. I'm guessing every actor might have this problem. Or aspiring, I don't know. Where you're just like, I don't like my typecast. Because I'm always typecast as the serious one. I can play it very well. Obviously, because I've gotten those roles. But, like, I want to be the funny one. Can I be silly? May I be funny for just a second? Yeah. I just burped when I said that. If you heard that, I'm keeping it in. F it. I'm keeping it in. But growing up, it's also realizing who around you, like, is really there for you. Like, you know, those moments in high school where for some reason, like, people are just so mean for no reason, like, especially middle school. There's like, you know, one day they're just like, hey, bestie, you want to hang out this weekend? You're like, yeah, so let's do it. And then weekend comes around, you go to their house, you have your parent drop you off, and you knock on the door, and they go, what are you doing here? I didn't invite you here. And behind them is like all the cool girls, and they're all laughing at you because you weren't invited, but you so were. I know what you're thinking. Wow, this is like weirdly specific. Did this happen to you? No, it didn't actually. The only reason I'm thinking that is because I have been listening to Anna Marie Tendler's book, Men Have Called Her Crazy, audiobook, on my way to work. And she explained this whole story about this guy, and I think his name was Ethan, in like high school, who would just walk up to her, wrap his arm around her, and then like make out with her and stuff. And then one day he said, hey, you want to hang out this weekend? I work at Abercrombie, just show up around close and we'll hang out afterwards. And Anna shows up right around close, and he's like, Anna, what are you doing here? I can't hang out. I'm working, like, go home. What is wrong with people? I don't get it. That's why I'm so glad my frontal lobe has developed. I'm not saying that I'm better than everyone. I'm just saying, I now know not to put up with that crap. I found my diary from 2011 when I was cleaning out my childhood bedroom, and I wrote a lot of stuff in there. I wrote the first day I had my period. It was July 11th, 2011. I got my period, and I was really mad because we were leaving for the beach the next day. I get the anger. I get the frustration. I was 12. I was turning 13 that fall. So, I get the pain, especially now. But I also wrote about this bully I had named Ashley. You know who you are. And I remember it because she would just like hate me at school. She was so hateful and mean. She was skinnier than a pencil, so I was jealous because I wasn't. And she would like call my house after school and be like, hey, you want to hang out? And I'd say yes. Why are we so dumb? Why are we all so stupid? Why do we literally allow bad things to happen to us? Because we're embarrassed? I went out with this guy, and I wasn't feeling it. Literally a month in, I wasn't feeling it. But I was too embarrassed to end things. Because I didn't want to be the talk of campus. And so it went on for like a few more months. And then he ended it because he was too busy. And I was mad, yeah. Because one, I felt like I wasted like my life a few months. And then on the other hand, I was like, thank God. It's like, yes. Thank you, go away. But as children, we just allow so much horrible things to happen to us. Because we're too scared of peer pressure. We're like, oh my gosh, if Ashley, like, if I tell her no, then she's gonna have everyone hate me at school. Which she did. She still did. Literally. In choir, I was, we had it split up to like tenor, bass. We didn't really have that much bass because we were middle schoolers. And alto, soprano A, and soprano B. I was soprano A because I was a very high, little fluttery voice. And Ashley was a soprano B. But the way we had it split up, we were close to each other. And I remember she was in the back row that day because it was kind of like a chill day. Because our teacher, I think his wife had a baby. And I remember she, like, passed me a note, like, through several people. And I read it, and it was so hateful, hurtful. It was like, hey, I hate you, just so you know. I only hang out with you because I feel bad, blah, blah, blah. And I remember just reading it, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, oh my goodness. And I remember she tapped me on the shoulder. She goes, can you give me that back? I don't want you to give it to your mom. I gave it back. I should have given it to the teacher. But no, I was scared. I was scared because I didn't want to be an outcast. Even though I already was. Like, girl, you never brushed your hair. You always wore, like, the headbands that were, like, right here. You never pushed them back right. You always wore the bright neon colored jeans that were too tight on your belly. So you wore them lower than you should have with Hello Kitty shirts from Walmart. Who wouldn't make fun of you? Honestly. And in high school, I decided to be goth, emo. I mean, we all have that phase. Even if you have no, I didn't. You had a phase. We all do. And so that's when sock buttons were huge. Because I started high school in 2013. And sock buttons were like the rage. So I would wear a sock bun really tight. I am convinced my hairline is destroyed because I just would like pull it back as hard as you freaking could. And a really big black t-shirt. I had a lot of Deadpool. Deadpool became like really big like 2013, 2014 t-shirt wise. Like the men's section at Walmart. So I'd buy like an XL in black shirts, and I'd wear black leggings because my mom wouldn't let me wear t-shirts that fit with leggings on because you can't see the butt. And I'd wear combat boots. Low key, it's a fit. It is a fit. Like, I mean, any outfit's a fit if you really try. But ugh. And I waxed my eyebrows. I didn't wax them. My mom got them waxed. My mom had the early 2000s brows to where they were like thin, really thin. And so what I did with mine, I wanted to be like my mother. So her name was Tessa, who waxed my eyebrows. She waxed them because I had like insanely thick brows when I was younger. She waxed them but left like this part over like normal, like it is now, and then this was just a line. I looked really bad. I have to find pictures later just to look at it and gag. But that was it. That was like the thing in 2013, 14, because I got my eyebrows waxed when I was a sophomore. So it'd have to be 2014. Like, ew. But pressure. Peer pressure. Every girl waxed her eyebrows. Every girl had the arch brows. Every girl wore insane makeup. I would wear, like, of course, we all know the 2016 thick brow phase. So I evened myself back out like 2 years later in high school because I graduated in 17. But I would wear insane amount of makeup. It looked really bad. Like the eyeliner, like out to here. And like the eyeshadow that didn't match the fit, but it was like bright red, so you wore it because, you know. Foundation that was cakey, the Maybelline one. The really cakey, like, and my mom would make me wear bronzer on my face. But it didn't match the rest of my body because I'm really pale. I'm like really pale. So like my face never matched. I have this one specific photo of me. It was Office Depot, and One Direction had just released a line of like pens and notebooks. I still have my Nile one. I never wrote in it because my dad told me not to because he wanted it to be worth money one day, so I never wrote in it. And they had like a big photo op because that's when like I had my iPhone 4, and that's when like everyone started like taking photos and just for fun, not for necessity, like photos for real. You didn't have to get them sent off like a disposable. I took a photo, arms out, smiling, in front of like, you know, my man. And my face is so orange. And I have it in a tight bun. I have like the athletic headband that was big at the time. Really tight bun. It might have been a sock bun. I don't think it was. I think I had a Hello Kitty shirt on. I just remember it vividly. And I took the picture. I was so happy. I changed my profile picture to that because, like, that's my man. My man. Why? I love how in the moment we all think we look really good. And then we look back and we're like, ew. Like, I'm gonna look back on this. Like, I thought today, oh, I'm kind of hitting it. Like, my face kind of beat. Kind of look good. I'm gonna look at this like 6 months from now and be like, oh, ew. What was she thinking? That's how I feel about photos for me from like January. I go, ew, girl, what? I always do with my eyebrows. My eyebrows, I have kept them like upkeep since I was a sophomore. Even though I just said that it was like horrible looking, I kept up with them. I always now, I pluck them on my own. I do not allow any other person to touch my eyebrows because I know you can mess it up. And I understand that they're a little thin. They're a little early 2000s thin. Just because I have no choice, because they won't grow. They just don't grow back. But I look at pictures of myself like 2 months ago. I'm like, ew, why do my brows look like that? I posted a photo on my story not so long ago for my friend's birthday. And it was a picture of me and her, and it was a selfie. And it was 2022, I think, was the photo. I was like, ew, my brows look so bad. I was like, this is like the worst eyebrows I've ever seen on me. And at the time, of course, I thought I looked good. We are our worst critic. I think that's why with midlife crises, we don't realize it's a crisis because it's just something we're doing in the moment because we're just living. And then other people look at it and they're like, oh, you're going through something. And you're like, no, I really needed this blue Mustang. I just did. I really just needed this tattoo for spontaneity. No, you need something to fill the void because you feel like you're withering away. That's how I feel. Because right now I'm looking at grad schools and I'm like, oh, wow, okay. For acting, I have to travel to Chicago or New York and do an audition. And I will have to spend thousands of dollars just for an audition and hope that I get a call back, and then hope I get a second call back later that day, and then hope they call me 3 months later saying I got accepted. That's a lot. And they only accept like 6 people in the program for any like school I look at. Oh wow, okay. While the other program I just graduated from, it doesn't matter. You just go, you're in it. Welcome. And I'm also looking at playwriting programs, and you have to write plays that are 100 pages or more, which is okay. I think the most I've written is 75, but that's still not enough. And I have to write it by like November 1st, and it's just, you always think, okay, good, I am so glad I made it over that mountain. When there's another mountain right beside you that you have to cross, you have to. If you want things to get better, and it's just never ending. It never ends. It's like laundry. You do it, and now you have to fold it, and you're mad. But you're the one that put it in the washer and dryer. It's not fair. But that's life, and you have to accept it because that's what it is. And you have to mature, because if you don't grow, then nothing will change for you. And you'll always be stuck in that teenage mindset of anger and confusion and rage. And you'll just never change. And I think we all just need to, well, first of all, with midlife crisis, look in the moment and go, I am getting older. That is something I have to accept. That will never change. You will always get older. You can't fix it. I watched Death Becomes Her the other night. Slay with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis and Isabella Rossellini and Camp. I have Letterboxd and I love Letterboxd, and I only watch films just to post on there. But I watched Death Becomes Her because I've always wanted to, and it finally was on a streaming service I owned, and I was like, finally. So I watched it. Oh, such a good film. A little sexist, but such a good film. But the whole thing was Meryl Streep didn't want to age, so she drinks the potion, and Isabella Rossellini's like, take care of your body. And so what happens? She falls down the stairs. Well, she gets pushed, and her body dies, but she doesn't because she can't. And so her body starts to decay. Same with Goldie Hawn's, because she shoots her. They start to decay, but they're still living because they have no choice. And it's just such a perfect, like, I don't know. I really liked it because it's something that's like, you're going to age. This is how it is. You're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to accept change for what it is. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck and everything around you will be changing, but you won't be. And it will kill you. Except they don't die. They can't die. I wasn't planning for this episode to be about growing up and changing. Actually, I didn't have a plan at all. I just said, hey, I bought these lights today at Walmart. Another thing that is considered midlife crisis is I bought equipment. I mean, I'm literally, this is connected to my Mac. So it's not like a professional setup. Like at all. But I did buy things for it. And that's okay. And I'm not planning on anyone like saying this like at all. I'm posting it. I have a YouTube. But I don't really care who sees it. I don't want to become famous. I just want to talk. I just want to speak. Let her speak. Portlandia is such a good show. It's just, you work so hard towards something, okay? Let's say your whole life, like, I'm going to do this. So you plan your entire life. You work towards that goal. You do it, you do it, you do it. You can't do that and then just leave everything else behind, literally, and just, like, throw it away. Because, let's say that thing you've been working towards fails. What do you have? Nothing. Because you pushed it all away. And that's what I don't want to do. Because yes, I want to do acting. Yes, I like to do grad school and, have to travel and stuff for all these. But I don't want to do it to where I throw literally everything around me away. My motto is, I do it for me, even if it hurts. Which sounds so selfish. Probably because I just made it up. But if I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to make it enjoyable. I will not suffer for your cause. Unless it's something serious, then of course I will do anything for you. But if it's something that, like, hey, can you help me with this volunteer-wise? Do not force me to suffer for your sake. But if I do, that's love for anybody. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm literally just talking, which is a podcast. At least I'm not, sitting here thinking about, like, common knowledge things. Like, sitting there, like, the reels you see, I'm convinced they do it as rage bait. I'm convinced they do it just so we watch it and comment and get mad. But it's the ones where the girls are just like, I just realized when you love, it releases chemicals in your brain so you connect to that person. Yeah. You just have like an epiphany that we all had in 5th grade health class. Something we all had when we were learning science with Miss Murphy. And then she said, oh, time for recess. Like, shut up. I never want to have an epiphany on this podcast. Ever. If I have an epiphany, no. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to share it because motorcycle just went by. So it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Just, like, okay, I don't want to know your marriage troubles. Don't share them with me. But if it involves a television series and you're sharing, like, the tea behind the scenes, I might nibble a little bit on that. I might take a little gander at your podcast. I like knowing things. I'm nosy. I'm a little nosy Nelly. I'm a little nosy Nathaniel. I like knowing things. I like it. That's why Alice Roosevelt, when she said, if you have nothing nice to say, you can sit right next to me, ate like boots the house down dinner. That's how I want to be. Especially, I get it. I get why old people just, like, talk. Like, literally at the library, I'll just be sitting there, and they walk up, ask for something, like, yeah, I can help you, and then they talk for 10 minutes about something I don't know. I don't know Sherry. Oh, she's your daughter? Cool. Oh wow, she has 3 kids. Awesome. I didn't know the other day that her son Tyler did this, and now you all have to deal with it. But please tell me more about it. I want to know. I like knowing things, even if it has no benefits. Pina. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. But I feel like I've said my piece for today. But for my Halloween costume, which is Lois Griffin, I have 2 costumes, actually. I have this one, and then I bought the dress from the movie Pearl, the red one, where she dances in and then kills Misty. Because I saw it, and I thought it'd be fun to have. Because at my work, they ask us to dress up for Halloween, and I don't know if we're doing a group Halloween or, like, singular, which, now thinking about it, in the children's section, wearing an axe murderer or Lois Griffin from an adult cartoon would not be good. And I have nowhere to go because I don't go to college anymore, so I have no reason to dress up. But there's always Instagram. There's always stories. I could always post it and then get the validation of likes, and then just be like, yeah, you want me, don't you? Like, especially those, like, people that never like your stuff suddenly like your post, suddenly like your story. You're like, I ate down. Like, that was a good one. That was a good post. Like, 8. Like, you know what I mean? I really hope you do, because I might be a narcissist, if not, which is my problem, not yours. But anyway, yeah, who knows where this podcast will go. This might be the only episode, and that's okay. All I know is that I had fun talking to my phone into this microphone. Hopefully the background noise you didn't hear too much of. People just fly down this road. And the TV's really loud in the other room because my turtle's watching TV right now. If it's not loud, he won't pay attention. But he likes action films, so he's watching an action film. But yeah. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's gonna be okay, no matter what happens. Because I have no choice but to grow up. I have no choice but to continue. You have to. If you're so scared you can't do anything, you're never gonna do anything. So just do it. Like, that made no sense, but I said it. So I'm gonna go because I'm hungry. I say as if I didn't eat an entire bag of chips earlier because I'm a little piggy. But it was great talking to you. I can't wait to have another conversation about other things that interest me and hopefully interest you as well. So